Okay, we are officially beginning our group chat tonight. Welcome, everybody. On this group chat, I'm going to be going over a special new formula that I created to break down how to get to over 10,000 a month and become a phone flipping superstar. And I want to break down the strategy in an easy to follow format for you guys, and also give you some mindset and motivation to get you there. Okay. So if you're excited about getting to 10,000 a month, this is definitely for you. We're also going to have a new person talk for a second that just did 7,000 his second month, and he did it only with Craigslist ads. So I thought that was pretty cool, and that it's only his second month, he's already 7,000. So I wanted to have him speak for a second, and I want to congratulate a couple people that were brand new and already doing really well. Like Debbie is already at 5,200. Grant already did 4,700 his first month. Just want to say that's fantastic. And for everybody watching this, I think we're going to do a concentration today on attracting customers after I break down the formula. This formula is going to be all about getting as many customers as possible to get to the 10,000 a month. And we're going to focus on the most important parts of getting to 10,000 a month, okay? Give me a yes, guys, if this sounds exciting for you, if you would like to hear the formula and learn how to do 10,000 a month. And what I want to mention, by the way, and we're getting a million yeses coming in right now, is that don't feel bad when you guys post in the Facebook group about your results. I really like to see people posting their results in the Facebook group. And there's two reasons for that. Because one, it keeps you motivated. We all need encouragement and acknowledgement, right? And when you post your results in the group, it feels good to show everybody how well you're doing. But then also it motivates the other people, okay? It's not bragging, as long as you don't do it in a very arrogant way or anything like that. It isn't bragging or showing off. It's inspiring others in the group. So I encourage everybody here, even if you're at $1,000 in sales for the month, post your results and say, hey, give yourself a pat on the back. At least you got to 1,000 a month in sales. That's fantastic. Let's try to up it to 5,000 next month. Okay. I think your mindset and your motivation, guys, is a very important part of this business, even more than just the knowledge. Because my first millionaire mentor used to say to me, Dave, sometimes you can do all the wrong things with the right attitude and accomplish way more than someone who does all the right things with the wrong attitude. So I think your attitude, how you look at this business every day, really makes a difference. And I see brand new people with just the fire in their eyes and they're ready to crush it. And even when they do everything wrong, they still make it. And then I see sometimes the older course members that know exactly what they're doing, but they're kind of just, they need to get rejuvenated. They're starting to get a little stale, and then they don't get the results that they want, okay? So remember to keep that fire and figure out whatever you have to do to keep the fire burning in order to hit that 10,000 a month every month and be consistent, all right? I'm going to talk a lot about consistency on the chat today. So let's break down the formula really quick before we begin. Remy, are you able to unmute yourself for a second?
Yeah, I'm here, buddy. Can you hear me?
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, doing pretty good.
Remy started the course about 2 months ago. Is that right, Remy?
Yeah, I started in September. I think I bought the course like the last day of July, and I started September. That was my actual technically my full month, because I was out of town half the month, like 15 days I was out of town.
Awesome. And now what were your sales for your second month in the course?
Second month of the course is September. That was $7,000.
7,000. Fantastic. Great job, Remy. And you did that, you told me, with only Craigslist ads. Is that right?
Yeah, that's it. I didn't mess with OfferUp or Facebook or anything. Like the way I am, once I get, like, I have to focus on things. If I have to do like 5 different things at once, nothing's going to get done. So I had to focus on one thing, and you always talk about Craigslist ads. So that's what I chose.
I really like that. And you went all in on Craigslist. And you know what I really liked, Remy, is I said we did a Craigslist challenge, and I said I wanted everybody to get to 50 Craigslist ads. And every week, every few days, I saw Remy post in the group how many Craigslist ads he had up. And I thought that was super, super positive. Like he held himself accountable. He said, I have 16 out of 50, Dave. I have, 24 more to go. And then, a few days later, I've got 21 out of 50, Dave, 39 more to go, or whatever, or 29 more to go. Sorry about my math. But and then I think recently you got up to 41 ads. Is that correct, Remy?
Yeah. I'm still doing it, Dave. I want to hit 50, and I'm going to let you know when I do.
Awesome. So I really wanted to recognize Remy for this, guys, because I think it's really important, because accountability is a real big part of personal development and business. And I really like, what Remy did there, how he held himself accountable in the posts. So I want to encourage everybody else here. This is not to put Remy on a pedestal. okay? But this is to show, recognize Remy for a great job, well done, and also to inspire everybody else here that it's okay to be accountable. And even when you're not doing good, for example, I want to recognize Richard, who was really struggling, and he was, he's not getting great results at all, but he still had the courage to post in the group and be vulnerable and say, guys, things are going terrible. I don't know what I'm doing. Can you please help me? And I want to applaud a lot of the members that reached out to Richard and helped him out. So great job, Richard. So this isn't all about just posting results too, but it's also, guys, being open and being honest about your results and being a part of the group that we have in the community, because it's going to make you so much stronger. Okay. So if we can all make an effort to try to post more and interact more, I think everybody's going to have a more positive experience. And I know Remy has been very helpful to a lot of members too. Has anybody else here been inspired by Remy or talked to Remy, or like maybe you guys have practiced on some things together? Grant says me. Lauren says, hell yeah. Grant says yes. Richard says yes. Dustin says, Remy helped me on Facebook questions. So another thing for the guys that are doing well, when you kind of give back to the new members, this helps you stay consistent, right? Because then we kind of feel like a hypocrite if, like we're telling the new members to do these things, but we're not doing them ourselves. So being kind, it also pays you back, because it will force you to start doing the right things. And when you're new, don't feel bad about asking for help from an experienced person, because when you start hitting 10,000 a month, we're going to ask you to do the same thing. Okay, so it's just a big cycle. We all start from one place and we go to the next. All right. So I know this isn't the formula yet, but I wanted to give you guys some positive words of encouragement, because I think it's just as important as the actual knowledge itself. Okay. And Lauren says, I've been here longer than Remy and I'm learning from him. I want to give credit to that, because that's humility right there, Lawrence, to know that someone's been here newer and you have the humility to still ask them questions. And I really like to see that. I think that's awesome. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the formula now so we can get you guys crushing it. So what I call this is the 30-30-30-10 formula, okay? And I broke it down like this. So if, in order to get to 10,000 a month, I like to have kind of a cookie cutter process. Now, I've helped develop and grow over 60 members now that have done over 10,000 a month. I've had multiple members do 40, 50,000 a month. I've even had one member that done 95,000 in a month. I cannot mention that person's name. They asked me to be silent about that person, but we've had some pretty great results. And it boils down to just following some simple basics and some formulas. Now, I want to give a quick disclaimer. It isn't easy, but it's simple, okay? So it's not easy. It takes some work. You're going to have to put an effort in. The people who have gotten those big results are putting very strong, consistent effort in. Okay, here's Justin. He says, what's up? Hey, Justin. Justin is another member that's absolutely crushing it. But let's go over the formula so you know the formula, and then you can go apply it, all right? So I call it 30-30-30-10 because we're going to break down how we're going to get our business, all right? So, now, I want to be honest with you guys. We talk a lot about negotiations and all that stuff, but really, the majority of this business comes from getting leads, all right? My employees are not the best negotiators. I do my best to train them, but negotiation is a skill that takes a while to learn. And the more practice you get, the better you'll become with it, okay? Although I can give you a lot of support and encouragement, you can make up for your lack of negotiation skills by just pouring yourself in with leads, okay? Leads means like someone calls you to sell you their phone, or they send you a text and things of that nature. So if you're not good at negotiating, if you're only getting like 5 text messages a day, you're not setting yourself up for success, because even a good negotiator will struggle to get phones with only 5 texts per day. You want a big flood of leads coming in. You want calls coming in, okay? And there's different ways to do that. Now, what most people think is they just need to have a bunch of ads up, and they rely strictly on the cold leads. But I want you to be very aware that only 30% of your business should come from cold leads. Cold leads means they've never heard of you before. They see an ad on Craigslist. They see an ad in a Facebook group. Maybe you post it in the app or marketplace. And if you haven't doing that, if you're brand new and you're watching this may be a little advanced for you. So in the course, in section 4, there's all these videos on how to do this in depth and in detail. So if you haven't watched that yet, you can watch how to post ads to get the leads. But the important part I want to make to you guys is that only 30% of your deals are going to come from cold leads. So if you're trying to hit 10,000 a month, that means you're operating at only 30% capacity to try to be a superstar. Who thinks that that is a formula for success? Who thinks that that's a good way to build your business on only 30% capacity? Grant says no. Richard says no. Dustin says laugh out loud. Daniel says no. Remy says no. Tyson says, Chris says no. Okay, so we all agree that this is not the best way to build a business, okay? Now, guys, how many people do you think McDonald's brings in from their advertising to get cheeseburgers? McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, they get maybe 30% of their customers. But where McDonald's really makes their money, because did you know they only make 12 cents on a cheeseburger? But with their cost of advertising, their first customer, they only make 12 cents on a cheeseburger. But then on the upsell, when they try to sell them fries, it's pure profit. Because the fries don't cost them barely anything. It's just potatoes, right? So most of that is pure profit. So when they break even on the cheeseburger to get the customer in the door, right, they only make 12 cents. Can you run a business off of that? 12 cents per customer? Could McDonald's succeed at 12 cents? Absolutely not, right? But when they make an extra $1 or $2 with the French fry shakes and then we order more stuff, then McDonald's makes their profit that way. But if McDonald's didn't have upsells, they wouldn't be able to stay in business. Now, this business is so lucrative and insanely easy to do that some phone flippers somehow manage to get by operating at 30% of capacity. That's how easy and sick this business is that you can actually only be only a third of the business you're supposed to be. You could be like the McDonald's that only serves hamburgers and doesn't serve fries and shakes and actually still make some profit. But why would we want to settle that way, right? Because when there's 60% or 70% more business we can capture with the same amount of effort, why not take that business, okay? Let me ask you guys this. Do repeat customers cost us any money to acquire? Do they cost us any work or money in order to acquire a repeat customer? What do you guys think? Type it in the chat. No, right? So I see no, 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 no. Absolutely not. Does it cost us any money at the end of a conversation to say to the customer, hey, so, what else do you have? I also buy MacBooks, laptops, cameras. I buy video game systems. Do you have any other electronics? Because I'd be happy to put more cash in your pocket. Does it cost us any money to do that? Absolutely not, okay? Now, this is why there's some members in the course that have like 25 ads on Craigslist and only post in a few Facebook groups a day, and they're at like 15,000 for the month. The reason is they're not trying to build their whole business on cold leads. They're building a real business, and a real business has repeat customers, and they have upsells. Not only that, the owner of those business typically has a network, okay? And they're able to, talk to people in the community that know him, and they get business that way. So I want to teach you guys tonight how to build a real business instead of just trying to build an amateur business by just getting cold leads. Because I just want to be honest, building a business purely off of cold leads is a very amateur way to grow business and usually leads to burnout and failure, okay? So thriving business owners, the ones that you see that don't seem to work that hard. Has anybody ever met a business owner here that just like doesn't seem to put much effort in, and for some reason they just always are crushing it? It's like they barely even work. Richard says absolutely. Dustin says yeah, right? Have you guys ever met Aaron Goldstein in my course? It seems like that guy is always going to the park, he's going to the gym, he's getting a massage, right? But yet he's doing $40,000 a month regularly, right? Aaron does not seem like he's working very hard. Remy says, I want that. And also, I want to applaud Remy because Remy joins our higher level coaching, the next level phone flipping program that Aaron runs. And, and Chris says, haha, Aaron is a good guy. Yes, Aaron is a good guy, absolutely. And he runs his business, though, like a real business person. Aaron has lots of repeat customers. He always upsells. He gets cold leads. Aaron is the perfect example of this formula here, okay? And I don't want to put Aaron on a pedestal, okay? But guys, success leaves clues, right? Tony Robbins says that. So if we can just follow what those other people do, we can also have success, okay? So far, guys, who is finding this a little bit motivating and inspiring? Is this helpful information for you guys to know where you should be placing your efforts in action? I see big yeses, yes, 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 exclamation point, definitely me for sure, yes, yes, yes. Okay, great. Because I just want you to know where to focus on, because everybody I see when they're new in this, they're trying to get those cold leads. I need more ads. I'm not getting calls. Well, the thing is, they forgot about building repeat customers and upsells. So in this group chat here, I want to train you guys on all these aspects: the cold leads, repeat customers, upsells, and cold outreach and personal networking. Now, I'm not going to put a huge emphasis here on the cold leads, but I'm going to give you a breakdown of a strategy. But if you want to learn how to actually place the ads and all stuff, it's right in the course. You can watch those videos and previous group chats on those things, okay? But let's just get the cold leads out of the way really quick, because again, like I said, these are only 30% of our business. This just gives us the initial wave of customers. So Craigslist ads, right? How many Craigslist ads do we want to attain? Does everybody know what the goal is for Craigslist ads? 50, right? 50, 50, 50, 50, 50. And we want to build up 2 to 3 Craigslist ads per day to get to that 50, okay? Now, guys, when I say 50 Craigslist ads, I really mean 50 Craigslist ads. We currently have 80. I know Aaron Goldstein literally has over 100 Craigslist ads on Craigslist. Now, you know, a quick disclaimer, he does have a virtual assistant that posts stuff for him, okay? And his virtual assistant posts 14 ads per day on Craigslist, which you can't, because he uses some tricky software and stuff like that. But if in the next level program, Aaron teaches like how to do all that stuff. That's for a lot more advanced stuff. So, you know, I wouldn't really do that until you're at like 4,000 to 5,000 a month at least, or something like that, so you get the basics down. But you know, the reason I say 50, because I know that benchmark has been proven to get our members to a certain point, okay? So you want to really try for that 50. And if you're struggling with getting 50 Craigslist ads, please watch the past Craigslist group chats. I remember Remy watched my Craigslist ads group chats multiple times, and he's already at 7,000 a month in his second month just from the Craigslist ads. Okay, so that's why it's really important to watch those group chats on that stuff, because we cover a lot of those things. Facebook groups. Facebook groups, I think, are crucial, but I see a lot of people not using them properly. And I don't think enough people watch the videos in the course and the group chats on Facebook groups. And how many people here have watched the videos in the course about editing your Facebook profile so it's appropriate, so you get more leads, and how to post Facebook group posts in groups that actually will get you more calls? Has anybody done that? I see a yes, yes, yes. I see 4 yeses. Is there any more people? Yes. Someone says not yet. Someone says I have seen some. Okay, I really suggest looking those, because that's a really effective group chat that I did, and it's in the course, and it's about, you know, not only just posting in the groups, but setting up your Facebook profile for success as well. Because when people see you on Facebook, if they don't see things that they like, they're going to be turned off, and they won't message you about selling their phone. So that's also important. Okay, apps and marketplace. Now, Aaron Goldstein is a master of apps and marketplace, and if you guys haven't checked out some of he has free videos in my course that you can watch, okay? He specifically did videos just for the course, so he teaches Let Go, Offer Up, and Marketplace. And if you're struggling with that, he has also free videos on nextlevelphoneflipping.com. So if you guys go to nextlevelphoneflipping.com and you click on the free video section, he has videos if you're struggling with your marketplace or your app, so you can watch those there as well, okay? I highly recommend that you focus on all areas of the cold leads so you start the flow coming in. All right. So I don't want you to just focus on that, but I want you to get the flow of leads coming in by having a diversity of all these things, by Craigslist ads, Facebook groups, apps, and marketplace. Okay. So any questions up to this point with the cold leads? Does anybody have a question on that particular section right there? Okay. Once you now start getting the cold leads, what we want to do, guys, is I want you to look at every call you get as like if you got paid, okay? So for example, there's a thing in marketing, it's advanced marketing, called pay-per-click. And what that means is every click to your website, you figure out how much that click is worth. Because, you know, after every 100 clicks, you make a sale, and, you know, every click might be worth $5 in your pocket. Well, every text or call that you get, guys, is kind of like a click, right, in marketing. And that means if you were getting paid, let's say you make an average of $70 to $100 profit per deal, all right? And let's say every 20 texts you get is a deal. So if we just break this down, and let's say 20 texts, let's say you make an average of $75 profit per deal, divided by 20 texts would be what, like 3, I don't know, where's the division sign, divided by, oh, equals, there we go, equals, what is that, like 33.5 maybe? I'm not sure, something like that. So it'd be like $3.50, $3.75 for every text that you get paid $3.75. All right. I want you to start looking at it like this. If every text you guys got was worth $3.75, who would spend way more time tomorrow posting ads on Craigslist, Facebook group apps, and marketplace? If I was like, I'll pay you $3.75 every time somebody texts you, wouldn't you go crazy? Okay, so I want you to start looking at it like that, because that's what it is. Okay, every time, if you know what you're getting, like what your closing average is, you can literally figure out how much a text is worth to you. Right? So then you can go nuts and get excited about marketing, knowing that when you get 100 texts, you're making $375 on average. Okay. And this is where the consistency comes in. Because if you noticed in this business, guys, sometimes there's waves, right? Sometimes we get no business at all. Like one day we get no phones, and then the next day we get like 10 phones. Has anybody experienced this phenomenon yet? Where like all of a sudden it seems like the world shuts off one day and the next day it's crazy, no matter how many ads you have, right? Okay, but the whole thing is the consistency is the important part, because even if you do 100 leads on the day where it's dead, if you don't get any deals, the next day you might get 5 or 6 deals that adds up to that $375 and close every one of them. So no matter what it's like, you can't judge on a day-by-day basis. You have to just look at it as a numbers game, okay? So I'm teaching you guys how to think like a true professional business professional and a marketer. And marketers think by pay-per-click. Okay. So that being said, we want to get as much cold leads. Now we want to maximize our cash value per customer, and we want to maximize the continuity. This means how often this customer sells to us. Okay. Because we can increase our pay-per-clicks. If we get every customer to sell us 2 phones per year rather than just 1, that literally doubles this from $3.50 per text to $7 per text. Now, don't tell me if you were making $7 per text, you wouldn't hire like an army of people to post ads for you. Imagine $7 for every text. How excited would you be about posting ads? You'd go nuts, right? Okay. So let me tell you a little bit about repeat customers and how valuable this really is. So first of all, every business, every person that we do is a valuable customer. They're not a dirtbag selling you a phone. They're not some pathetic person that needs cash. They're not this jerk that yelled at you at first when they were negotiating. That's not who they are. They're a valuable customer. Every single person you run into is a valuable customer. They're like an ATM machine that you can pull cash out of a few times per year, okay? I want you to look at your customers now as ATM machines, as valuable customers. This is extremely important. And when you start seeing customers as valuable customers, okay, now you start treating them a little bit differently. So for example, I've seen a lot of members that have gone out to buy phones, and then they're like, hey, you got the phone? Okay, cool, let me inspect it. Any cracks, anything? No? All right, looks okay. Here, sign this bill of sale for me. All right, here's the cash. Thank you, bye. Now, if we do an interaction like that, who thinks that we're going to get lots of repeat customers that way? Anybody? Tell me if that's an effective strategy for getting repeat customers. Absolutely not, right? No. Okay, we have to go above and beyond. So in order to get repeat customers, there's a few things you need. One, you need a way for them to contact you in the future. This is very important because a lot of people make a lot of assumptions. Amateur business people make a lot of assumptions, and they assume that a customer is going to remember their telephone number or remember what ad that they called. And the reality is, guys, most people have no clue who they called. I had a guy that bought my car off me on Craigslist. That was one of those cash for cars guys. It was my old car I got rid of. I don't remember who it is. I literally, if I went right now to go find his ad, I have no clue who the guy was. I wouldn't be able to find it. And he didn't even give me a business card. So if I know someone that wants to just get rid of their car fast, I can't refer the guy. Do you think that guy is going to get lots of business, or do you think he's losing a ton of business that way? What do you guys think? He's not losing a little business, guys. He's losing 30% of his business. See, I want you to look at it this way. You're already at $10,000 a month just by doing phone flipping. You're at $10,000 a month, but you're losing $3,000 a month because you're not getting repeat customers. you're losing $3,000 a month because you're not doing upsells, and you're losing $1,000 a month because you haven't hit 50 ads on Craigslist, you're not posting in Facebook groups, so that's why you're at $1,500 a month, because you're just killing yourself. If you just don't mess up, you hit $10,000 a month. That's how easy this business is. It's that, I shouldn't say easy. I don't want to portray that this is not, this, like you can be lazy and get these results, but it's very, very simple. But most people just don't do what they're supposed to do, so they mess up the $10,000 a month, okay? So I just want you to start looking at it from that angle, and maybe it might give you a different perspective on what, maybe getting started doing this. So first off, Yev says, I've definitely upscaled phone flipping after getting business cards. Yev, do you mind talking for a moment? Hey, Yev.
Hey, Dave.
Hey, so I want to introduce Yev. Yev is a great guy. He's been in my course now for almost a year. How long have you been in the course, Yev?
I've been in the course, I believe, since February of this year.
Oh, only February. Okay, so about only 8 months. How many times have you hit over 10,000 a month, Yev?
Twice or 3 times.
Twice or 3 times. Okay. When you first started, you had come to a boot camp and you were only at 5,000 a month, right? How much were you making at your job at that time?
At my job, I was making about $1,400 a month.
He was making $1,400 a month. And what's your best month phone flipping right now, Yev?
12,500.
12,500. That's awesome. I remember we were actually in a hotel room after the boot camp. We were all hanging out. It was Chris Kripe, Yev, me, and a couple other course members. And Yev said that he was doing $1,400. He was making $1,400 a month at his job, and he was about to have a new baby. And I said, we got to get you some more money in your pocket. So we worked out a strategy for Yev, and within 2 months, he hit over $10,000 a month, which was awesome. But now I want to talk about, Yev, what happened when you got business cards? What of a difference did it make? What were some of the things that got you from that 5,000 a month to bigger?
So after getting business cards and giving them to each customer that I met, I got a lot of repeat business. They call me back in 3 days and say, "I remember I sold you that phone. I'm ready. I have another phone. I'm ready to sell her, or a laptop or iPod or any of those electronics." So it worked really great.
Awesome. And where did you get the business cards? Did it cost you a lot of money?
No, it was $10 at Vista Print.
$10. Awesome. So $10. And how much more do you think, and be honest, how much more do you think the business cards got you to make more per month?
A few thousand, definitely 3,000 to 4,000 more.
3,000 to 4,000 a month for an investment of $10. Who thinks that's a pretty good return, right? $10 to make an extra 3,000 to 4,000. So it's, guys, for some reason we don't do things because we just don't think they're going to work. But I want to tell you right now, guys, that these work. All my superstars, all the guys that have coached over 10,000 a month, they've bought into the fact that this stuff works and they've gone and applied it. So I want you to buy into this right now. I want you to drink the Kool-Aid, and I want you to go out and get those business cards for yourself, because I can never promise you're going to get results, but I can tell you right now, I haven't had too many superstars that have done what I said and not hit the results that we're talking about. And just even 3,000 a month, imagine just for business cards, who could use an extra 3,000 a month right now? Anybody? And now that's not all profit. I'm sure, profit's probably an extra 1,500 or 2,000 a month, right?
Yeah.
Around there. But that's what you were making it your whole full-time job previously to that, just by getting business cards. And you made more just from your job, just from that little thing, never mind all the other techniques, right? So that's fantastic. And I want to congratulate Yev. Yev has taken a lot of action. He also joined the Next Level program. He came to a boot camp that me and Aaron ran. He was trained with me live in person. And, he runs his business like a professional business person. So I want to give Yev a lot of credit for that. He's also very, very consistent and very personal with his customers. So that's the next thing I want to talk about is building relationships and being personal with people. I think being a very likable person is really important to getting repeat customers, right? And if you notice, Yev is a pretty friendly guy. I don't know if you guys will all agree with me on this, but he smiles, he's very nice, he's very polite. Every time I met him, he's always made me feel good to know him. Okay, and Yev, do you think that you get a decent amount of business from repeat customers? What do you think is your percentage of repeat customers?
I'd say it's 30%.
It's about 30% repeat?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret. I get about 50% from repeat customers, believe it or not. So we're actually sometimes a little lazy on our ads, but we have so many repeat customers that, you know, it helps make up for that. So guys, this formula is very accurate here. 30% from the cold leads, 30% with the repeat. Chris says, Dave is amazing with customers. Well, I think it's important to listen to people and be kind, right? And when I mean listen, when you buy that phone, guys, take a minute to find out about that person a little bit. Ask them some nice questions and be genuine. Don't treat them like just a customer. Like, for example, let's say if Yev was my customer and he just sold me a phone, I'd say, so Yev, thank you so much for this business. I appreciate it. Is this your first time? Have you ever sold me a phone before?
No, I haven't.
No? Well, thank you. I just want to say thanks. I appreciate that. You know, I've been doing this for a little while now, and I'm really motivated to, you know, to grow my business as much as possible. So if you ever have anything in the future, you know, I also buy laptops, MacBooks, cameras, all kinds of electronics. If you ever need anything else, let me give you my business card right here. Okay, here it is. And if you ever need it, then just give me a call.
All right, I will.
All right, thanks, Jeff. You have a great day. I appreciate it. Okay, now I'll even take it further than that. If he pulls up and I see something nice to compliment him on, like let's say he's driving a nice car, I might say, "Wow, that's a nice SUV right there. What kind is that?" "Oh yeah, oh that's a Ford Explorer. Is that a special edition?" "Really? Wow, I like that. I like the rims on it. They're all shiny. It's like almost blinding. It's so nice." Okay, and you find something like really nice to make that person smile. And one thing Bill Clinton says, Bill Clinton is known to be one of the best networkers in the history of the world. And Bill Clinton says, you know, one thing I focus on, a lot of people never remember what I actually tell them. He says, the only thing that they remember is how I made them feel. So guys, at the end of the day, make sure your customers, when they met you, they might not remember what you say. They won't even remember how much you paid them for your phone, believe it or not. If you ask someone 3 weeks later what I paid them, they won't remember, but they will remember what they thought about me. Okay? They will remember what they thought about me. So remember, your actions when you meet that customer, what will they think about you 2 weeks from now? What will they say to other people about you after your interaction with them? Will they say, this guy was super, super nice. He was like, you know, I thought I was going to have this thug guy come out and give me cash, but he was so polite. He was dressed well. He was friendly. And, you know, he talked to me and he asked questions about my family and how I was doing. He was compassionate. And this is so important, guys. And I think compassion in this business is also, you know, a little bit underrated. But have compassion for the people that you're selling phones. You know, sometimes in the past, I've had people that have been struggling and they were down on their luck. And I said, you know something, I know you're selling me these phones and I appreciate this, but have you ever thought about maybe rebuilding your credit and trying to, you know, start to, you know, to grow your finances a little bit? And I know that seems like, well, you know, Dave, you know, that you're going to lose customers that way. I never really lost a customer that way because, you know, it was one of the only people that actually started teaching them a little bit about finances, and they really appreciated that. And customers will never, ever, ever forget that. I have customers from years ago. I had a girl once that she did drugs or something like that, and her friends left her in the woods. He came in and told her the story, and this girl was a total rat. I mean, she was really bad. But I actually didn't judge her, and I just said, boy, I said, it sounds like things are a little tough. Have you ever considered maybe finding some better friends to hang out with? And she said, no, I probably should. I said, yeah. I said, if your boyfriend is doing stuff like that and your friends, I'm like, maybe you should hang around people that care about you a little bit more. And then I remember a couple years later, she told me this story about how she left her boyfriend and now he's in jail and now she's doing a lot better. She stopped doing drugs and all this stuff after she talked to me. You know, and it's like, you know, not only do I want to run a business, but it's kind of cool to like make an impact on the community by doing little things like that. So, you know, don't forget to do little things like this for your customers. They mean the world and people will never forget you. Okay. And thank you, Yev, by the way, for volunteering. I appreciate that.
Oh, yeah. I appreciate it, Dave.
And you're doing a great job. Dustin says, damn, yeah, if you can feel them out and offer advice, that's awesome. Dyson says, super cool, and thanks, Yev. So next, guys, is now the upsells, okay? So I want you guys to know how important upsells are. If we didn't upsell customers just like McDonald's, we'd be trying to run the McDonald's with only cheeseburgers and no French fries. No business can succeed without a good back end in upsells, okay? It's extremely, extremely important. And the thing is, once you have been with a business and you've done business with them, there's a level of trust. You feel comfortable with them, right? So there's a more likelihood of them doing business with you again 15 times more than your competitor. You've now owned them, okay? It's like when you're in a relationship with someone. Do you want to go on a date with other people when you've got someone that you're happy with in a relationship? No, because you know each other. You're comfortable. You don't want to go do anything because you like each other, right? So it's the same thing. Build customers like you would date someone, you know? Make them feel good. And then upsell them. Get them, you know, people don't just have phones, guys. They have phones. They have computers. They have watches now. They have GPSs. They have cameras. They have video game systems. There's so much electronics in today's society. It's so easy to upsell people if you just put the effort in. Now, I've had guys that have barely even put an effort to advertise, and yet they made $10,000 a month just from upselling. That's how powerful this is. And the people who have been to my boot camps have seen me turn a customer that had one crappy phone and upsell them into a $700 profit deal when they didn't even ask about those items. I was able to dig and find deeper what they have, build a good relationship. And I'm not going to say this is easy. There's a guy that took me about 25 minutes that I talked to him, build a relationship, and got to know him. And as I got to know him more, he opened up about other stuff that he had. And he was like, you know, do you guys buy MacBooks? I'm like, yeah, as a matter of fact, we do. He's like, you know, I've got one in the car. You want to bring it in? And then when he brought his MacBook in, I started talking to him about, you know, he had a film production company. And I started talking about his film production company. I'm like, oh, you do film? He's like, yeah, that's why I have these MacBooks. He's like, but I got rid of this one. I was like, that's cool. I always loved filming. One of my dreams was to produce movies. And he's like, no kidding, man. And I bonded with him. I found some common ground. He's like, you know what else? I got this tablet too, man. You want this? And he brought his tablet in. $700 profit with that. Christian says, just with friends alone, I was able to sell $400 worth of stuff. Nice. Awesome. So guys, if you haven't, who here has dived into MacBooks, tablets, laptops, cameras, all that type of stuff? Who here has started experimenting with those type of things? Because if you haven't, I think you're really missing out a ton of business by not diversifying. And if you're scared, a lot of people don't buy these because they're scared, right? They're scared that they're going to make a mistake. But you don't need to be scared because, guys, I don't know anything. If you've ever watched my YouTube video, there's a video that actually people are swearing at me and calling me stupid because I said the wrong model of the item. It was a camera, and I said the wrong thing. But the bottom line is I made $200 profit off that camera. So although I seem stupid because I didn't know anything about the camera, I had no clue. The only thing I did was look up the model number on eBay, and I appraised it, and then I just made an offer based on my eBay appraisal. That was all I did. I didn't know anything what the camera even did. I had no clue. But yeah, I still made a $200 profit off that. That's the great thing about this business. So let me stop sharing this screen for a second, and let's go to eBay, right? Let me grab a camera really quick. I got one right here, okay? So I got this ready. One of my employees wants to get into film, and I said he could borrow my DSLR camera. So this is called a Canon EOS Rebel T2i, okay? So all you do is you just look up on eBay like what this is, Canon EOS Rebel T2i. Now, I don't know if this is worth a lot because I bought this camera a couple years ago, but let's see. And it turns out that looks like this camera is actually still valuable. It looks like it's worth almost $200. Okay, so I honestly, guys, had this shoved in a drawer. I haven't used it in years. I was making some short films for a little while, and I made some movies, and then I put it away, and I don't know, I just haven't thought about it. I had it shoved in a drawer. But people have these things lying around, and sometimes they need some cash, and they go pull them out, and they want them. Who knew? I didn't even know this thing was worth $200. But see, all we had to do, we don't need to know anything about the camera itself. We just need to know what it's worth. And then you can just do the appraisal. The only thing I recommend is with electronics, if you don't know anything about them, just make sure to delete any information off the electronics you buy and make sure to factory restore them. Okay? So I don't know if that alleviates any of your concerns about diversifying, but guys, there's a lot of money out there. Just go take it. We probably make about $500 to $800 a month in profit just from cameras. I mean, that's not a ton of money. It's $500 to $800 a month, but I mean, how would you like a free $500 to $800 a month? We're talking like 4 or 5 extra deals a month. What is that? Maybe a couple hours worth of work to make $500 to $800 a month extra. It doesn't take a lot of like grunt work in this business to make money. It just takes a little bit of creativity and brain work to make money in this business. Okay. You're going to work harder on your brain than you're going to work hard with your, your muscles. You're not going to work really tough, if that makes sense. Wall says suggestions for laptops and MacBooks. So many models with different specs. The thing is just find the model and let me see if I get a I don't have a laptop right now to appraise around me. But let me here. I got a broken one here. Let me see if I can. I don't even know if this thing's worth anything, but let's just look it up and see. So I look it up, and on the bottom is you're gonna look for a model, and the model number on this looks like X75A. Let's see if we can figure out what this is. I know nothing about this laptop. I used this like a year ago, and I threw it on the floor, and I'm ashamed to say that I haven't picked it up in a year. So it's been sitting on next to my desk for this long. DH32, which tells me I need to declutter a little bit. But let's take a look here. And I'm going to put laptop. Okay, so there it is right here. There's the laptop. Turns out this thing is actually worth some money too. This is what happens sometimes. I just leave stuff lying around and I forget about it. And it's like, oh, that's worth like a couple $100. So this is not a MacBook. It's obviously an Asus. And it says Asus, so that's correct. See, right there it says Asus. So, this gives me a good idea. So what would you guys appraise that for? I see like 165. This one says 100. I don't know if it worked or not, but that's got $20 shipping. I mean, I would go around the lower end if you're brand new to appraising laptops and stuff. So I appraise that probably like 120, 130, around there. And then I would offer like $30 on it. And you'd be surprised, guys. We get laptops like this all the time for $30, all the time. And we get MacBooks for very good prices. So we probably make $1,000 to $2,000 in profit per month from just like MacBooks, laptops, and MacBooks. Sometimes we make even more than that. All right. So imagine just adding cameras and laptops could add an additional $1,000 to $2,000 a month profit to your bottom line. That's more than some people make an entire month at their full-time job, just adding these things. And it doesn't even take any work. All it takes is the fact that you just say that you buy them. When you're done with the customer, you just say, hey, I also buy MacBooks, laptops, cameras. What else do you have? That's the only effort it takes, okay? Who feels that they can go start applying this today and start getting more business? Is there anybody here that is motivated to start doing this stuff now? Dustin says there's a screen damage to the battery hold. So you just kind of look at it with laptops and you kind of eyeball it. There could be a problem you don't know about, but the thing is we're buying it so low, guys, that it doesn't really matter. Because if we buy that laptop for $30 and we sell it for 120, even if there's something wrong, we can't lose. You literally cannot lose, right? Just give them a little partial refund or something and make up for it. But you can't lose if you buy right. So remember, the money is made when you buy. All right. Just really quick, who's finding this group chat helpful tonight? Is this getting you guys excited about getting to 10,000 a month and doing what you need to do? Or is this just kind of a bunch of blah, blah, blah? Someone says, yes, definitely. I like it. Awesome. Excited. Okay. Sounds like you guys are very excited about this. All right. I want to give you guys the mindset and strategy and get you really fired up and show like how easy this really is to get to 10,000 a month. But most of us just sabotage our success by not doing the right things. Jesus says, what do you ask to praise laptops and cameras? Well, you just the model number. That's it. Just find out. Every electronics has some kind of model number. So once you get that, you can just go to the eBay search bar and find it, and you can do an appraisal based off that. I appraised the weirdest things. One time I bought this video game system, like in a suitcase. It was like you open the suitcase up and it had a TV built in the suitcase. I didn't know anything about that, but it turns out that thing was worth like $300. And I bought it for $80, and I made almost $200 profit off of it. If I hadn't asked, I would have never made that $200 profit. Right? So this is why I think it's really important to add this type of stuff. We even had Poblin is done, 10,000 a month multiple times. Once he bought a robotic dinosaur for $5 and he sold it for like $80. Imagine that, a Spike the dinosaur. There's an upsell right there. Do you have anything? I mean, it was an electronic. It was a robotic dinosaur. He bought it for $5 and he sold it for 80. So I'm talking, guys, you can upsell anything and make more money with it. Wall says that was classic. Some of you guys remember the Spike the Dinosaur group chat when we did that. Eric says Spike the Dinosaur group chat was the best. Haha. That was hilarious. And he even showed us the Spike the Dinosaur when he sold it. That was pretty awesome. So you can literally upsell on anything, guys. All right. So up until this point, does anybody have a question on getting repeat customers, upsells, business cards, personal skills, anything like that? Does anybody have a question on that? I see a lot of Spike the Dinosaur comments right now. Okay, let's talk about the final part of the 30-30-30-10 is the 10 part, okay? Now, obviously, we're not going to put a big focus on this because it's only 10% of the business. But 10% cold outreach and personal networking. So, guys, I can't tell you how many times one of my relatives has called me and said, Dave, I want to get rid of my phone. What will you give me for it? Or one of my friends or someone on Facebook. Just from them knowing I'm a professional business person and building relationships with everybody. Like, I don't know if anybody's ever met me, but I try to build good, solid relationships with everybody I meet. I try to get to know them. I try to find out about them. I try to find what makes them tick. I try to make them feel good, even if I'm not trying to get business out of them. Because at the end of the day, one, that makes me feel good as a person, but two, when they want to sell their phone and they know I'm the guy who buys phones, guess who they call? They call me because they're like, I like Dave. He's nice. And I want to get rid of my phone. Let me give it to Dave. It isn't all about the money. It isn't all about the money, guys. And this is why a lot of people ask how I get these items at like dirt cheap. Dave, how are you buying things for $30 you sell for 100? Because people want to sell me cheap. They feel okay letting me make money off them because they like me. They're happy with me. And if you notice, a lot of my 10,000 a month superstars, a lot of them, they're building relationships with customers and they're nice. People tend to like that. Christian says, How to Win Friends and Influence People is a good book. That's one of my top favorite books of all time. As a matter of fact, if you guys want to increase your knowledge, I think is very important. In the file section of the group, I actually uploaded my favorite book list right here. So I put 10 of my favorite books in case you guys want to do some learning. Just go to the file section of the course and download my top 10 favorite books, and you can start reading those. And if you want to be a little bit more personable, likable, and learn some of that, those people skills. Okay. Personal networking, just telling people, like how many people here has anybody ever bought a phone at AT&T or Verizon here, or T-Mobile or Sprint? Who's done that, right? Every time I buy a phone, there's not a time that goes by, even now, that I don't say, oh, hey, so, I happen to own a chain of cell phone repair stores called Buy, Sell, Fix. If you want, I can leave some cards here. If anybody ever, has their broken phone, we repair them, and we also buy phones. So, if Verizon's not giving enough money and you want to get a deal together, maybe we can help each other, and I can give them cash for the phone, and you'll get an upgrade. You always, when you're talking to people, networking and people skills, always appeal to their interests. So many amateur business people are selfish, and they just want to take. Oh, I give you money for your phone. I'll give you money. But if you can appeal to other people's interests and see through their eyes what they want, your chances of getting business are going to go, double or triple, because, people respond where you're talking to them from, a giving type of mentality rather than taking. So when you go to AT&T, you upgrade your phone, you say, hey, if you ever know anybody that wants to upgrade and you can't give them enough cash, feel free to send them my way. I go to my barber. When I go to my barber, they all know me. Every one of the barbers at the place know me. And guess what? Barbershops have very intimate conversations with people, right? All my barbers, I give them 50% off all iPhone repairs. Now, you might say, well, Dave, you're not making any money on that. No, I'm not. But guess what I am making all the money on? Can anybody guess why I do that? I give all my barbers 50% off because guess what? Anybody who comes in with a broken phone, they're like, oh, go to Buy, Sell, Fix. Go to Buy, Sell, Fix. Go to Buy, Sell, Fix. And that's why my stores do almost $500,000 per year just with my stores, because I've built up so much relationships and I don't have to spend much money on advertising, right? So guys, when you have a giving mentality and you build relationships, like all of a sudden this money starts flowing to you. You can go from being broke right now to having abundant amounts of money by just changing your attitude and the way you act around other people and doing a little shift in your mentality. Okay. So, it's not a ton of business. It's 10%, but 10% is 10%. If you're doing $10,000 a month and you get $1,000 a month in profit just from networking and being a nice person, why not take it? right? I mean, one, you feel good. You're going to make more friends being a nice person. You're going to make more friends being a giving person. And you make an extra $1,000 a month. That's most people's mortgage or rent, right? There we go. Just from networking and being a nice person and stuff and things like that. Okay, so that's going to pretty much conclude this formula, the 30-30-30-10. So I want to see everybody kind of maybe do this as a challenge for the next 30 days. Let's see if you guys can be consistent every day, every customer, every deal. That's the king. Every day, every customer, every deal, you do this. See, you don't give a business card to the people you think will give you referrals. You don't do that. You give a business card to every single person that you give cash. You give them a business card. You don't upsell the people that you think might have more stuff. You upsell every single person who sells you a phone. You try to upsell them, okay? You don't build a relationship with only the people that you like. You build a relationship with every person, whether they're a jerk or not. They're a customer. They're a repeat business. They're a walking ATM machine for you that's going to pay you all year long. Dustin says, do I need a business name on a business card? No. I have guys named Josh Rico on the course. He did over 20,000 a month multiple times, and all his business card says is cash for phones, and it has his phone number on it. That's it. It just needs to be simple to remember and easy and say what you do, and that's it. But the thing is, that person puts it in their wallet and they remember you. Now, I used to have business card magnets. I used to, so people could stick them on the fridge. Anytime I would invest a little bit. They cost me like 50 cents a piece, but I used to have business magnets. So every time someone sold me a phone, I would give them a magnet. And guess what people do with magnets? They stick them on the fridge, right? And it's in their face. Who looks at their magnets on the fridge all the time? Anybody ever walk to the fridge and just done one of those things where you just stare in, you look at the food, you close the door, 5 minutes later you go back to the fridge, you stare at it. I mean, I go to my fridge probably like 100 times a day doing that because I work from home and I just get bored sometimes, right? And I don't know why I do that, but you want that business card magnet staring at them right in the face every time they do that, right? Why not? Why not? It's free. It costs you 50 cents and it's repeat advertisement. And when their buddies come over to have a beer, guess what? They look at that business card magnet. When their wife's friends come over, they're looking at that business card magnet, okay? If they're doing business from their home, their clients are looking at that business card magnet. So I think, little things like this, they are a little bit of an investment, but don't be afraid to invest in that stuff, guys, because it comes back to you multiple times over. And for a long time, I had people almost a year and a half later call me from the business card magnets before. And that was before I even opened up my stores. So I knew, because my old magnet said, I buy for resale. They were my corporation name. And the new cars we have say buy, sell, fix. But a year and a half later, people would call me up and they say, oh, is this Dave, the guy with the station wagon? I would say, well, now I have a store now, but yes, I still will buy your phone. Come on down. I'll give you a new card. And yeah, it was crazy. That long, they would come back. Okay. So I hope you guys found this group chat helpful. I want you guys to get away from just thinking just cold leads and understand that cold leads are only 30%, because I see way too much focus on just cold leads. And I think we need to focus on all angles and start being like true business professionals. So that's going to wrap up the group chat for tonight. Could everybody give me like a rating on this group chat, what you thought about it, if you genuinely thought it was helpful. Give me a little bit of feedback. If you could rate it on a scale from 1 to 10, I'd really appreciate it to know, if you really thought it was helpful or not. So that way I know to do more stuff like this in the future for you guys. It says 10, 10, 10. Thank you, guys. 9 out of 10, no dinosaur. No Spike the Dinosaur this time, so it's only got a 9 out of 10. Okay, so a lot of people rated it 10. It says real sensible advice makes a huge difference. Okay, so I know I didn't give you guys like a lot of specifics on the ads and all that stuff, and I know sometimes that's what you want to hear, but sometimes I think it's good to tell you guys what you need to hear rather than what you want to hear, so I can get you up to that 10,000 a month. And any specific things you have, guys, it's in the course. If you just watch those videos, everything is in the course that you need in order to succeed. So if you just watch the videos, they should be able to help you out. I think that'll be it, guys. Kevin says, how can I stop seeing your ads on YouTube? Sorry, Kevin, just hit the skip button. Because if it's not my ad, it's going to be somebody else. It'll be Ty Lopez. It'll be some other guy. So I apologize. My mother said that to me today. She goes, David, I'm watching this guy, Joel Osteen, on YouTube for motivation. And every time I'm watching, there's my son. He pops up and he's talking about the phone flipping. And she's like, can I stop that? I said, sorry, Mom, she's going to have to deal with me for a little bit. James says, I'm on YouTube 5 hours a day, and I see Dave laugh out loud. All right, guys. Well, you guys all have a great day. I really appreciate everybody coming on today. And I got some other stuff in the works. By the way, I've got a new mindset course coming out, called the 10 Rules. There was a couple members in this course. Yev was one of those members. Pavlin was one of those members. Chris was one of those members. And they all seemed to like it. It was very helpful. I'm releasing it for only $97. If you guys are interested, Chris says, join the 10 Rules, exclamation, exclamation. Eric says 10 Rules is awesome. I'm going to be releasing the 10 Rules course probably in the next week or two. So if you're interested, I will post it in the group soon. So keep an eye out for that. It's going to be 10 decision-making skills that help me grow a 7-figure per year business. And, you know, it actually helped me out, even the 10 Rules. I mean, I follow them. They've really done a lot for my life. And, you know, and some of the course members we had some massive growth and change after taking that 10 Rules course. So just wanted to make that announcement. Well, you guys all have a fantastic day. I will see you guys. I'm going to be speaking at Ecom Chicago. I see a couple people saying that. So if you want to come visit me, say hi. I think Yev is coming. I know George is coming. You guys can come say hi, and you know we can hang out for a little bit there in Chicago. So you guys all have a great day, and I will see you next week.